Hey folks, it's Martin, and this morning we are doing a quick playthrough of the game Sojourn. This is a solo 10 to 20 minute light, fast-playing filler game, and I got it as a $5 print-and-play version from a Kickstarter, and this is by an outfit called Wyvern Gaming. We'll see you at the table. Here's a quick overview of the game setup. So over here is your traveler card, and your traveler is lost in time. This meeple represents your traveler, and you start out in the Jurassic period, 250 million BC. These are the health tokens and the temporal charge markers of the traveler. If your health drops to 0, or if you don't have enough temporal charge to be able to jump back home, you get trapped in time. You lose the game either way. These green cubes represent fragments of the shattered time sphere. Now, they have been scattered throughout time and history in this destination deck. And your job basically is to jump to various destinations, find those fragments of the time sphere, you need 4 of them, and then get back to your home time. Now, to help you along, you have these time stream cards, and these time stream cards grant you certain powers and advantages. That's the basic setup, and let's get started with our play. So first thing we need to do is get a new destination. To do that, we'll activate our handy dandy time travel watch and burn 1 temporal charge. Use that up, and that allows us to take the top card of the destination deck and place it above our current location. So as I said earlier, we're in the Jurassic period, and what's our option here? We have an option to travel to Pompeii in 79 AD, where there is no charge we won't have to give up any cards to travel to this destination. We won't have to give up any temporal charges to get there. But look at this. There is a 90% risk of getting 4 damage if we travel to this destination. And remember, our traveler only has 7 health. So that's not a really great option. So right now, since we still have 6 temporal charges remaining, let's try that. We'll burn another temporal charge. And let's take a look at another destination. And this one is, oh look, a time fragment. How lucky. Very early in the game, we've got a time fragment. So when you get a time fragment, you put that there for now. And then you get the next card in the destination deck. And that is the place and time where the time fragment is located. So you put that card on the time fragment, covering that. It's the Titanic disaster, April 14, 1912. Nice. And your every new destination, you put that either to the left or right of your previous open destination. So since this is further in the future of Pompeii, I put it here to the right. This is not good either. It's basically the same deal as Pompeii. We have 0 drop cost. We don't have to drop any cards to access this destination. We don't have to give up any temporal charges, but there is a 90% chance that we are going to suffer 4 damage traveling to the Titanic disaster. That said, there is a time fragment here, and that we need 4 of those time fragments to be able to get back home. So, tough choice. And let's go for it. So, we don't have to give up any cards. Our traveler is traveling to the Titanic. And what that means is we're going to basically take this card and put it on top of our previous destination. So there is our traveler. And now we have to resolve the risk. So we've got the percentile dice here. So let's see what happens. I have to roll 90 or better to avoid damage. I rolled an 80, which means I do get damaged, which means I lose 4 health. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. We're down to 3 health. The good news is, since we successfully traveled to that destination, we acquire this time fragment. So check that out. We now have 1 of 4 pieces of the time sphere. We need 3 more. So let's take stock of our current situation. Our traveler is down to 3 health and 5 temporal charges. And our current only option is to travel to the eruption of the volcano in Pompeii. I don't really want to go there, do you? So let's take a look at our time stream cards and see if there's anything here that can possibly help us. As we look at the cards that we have here in our hand, we have this temporal battery. This is going to restore 1 temporal charge. We have 2 of them. So we should probably use those now. So we'll use 1, 2 temporal batteries. We'll put them here. And by the way, if you run out of time stream cards, just reshuffle the discard deck to form a new time stream deck. So we acquire 2 temporal charges, and now we are full up. Would have been nice if we'd had cards that would restore our health. That's basically a bandage, but we don't have those in our hand right now. Okay. Oh, by the way, we didn't resolve something from earlier. The Titanic allowed us, once we went there, allowed us to get 3 new time stream cards. So we didn't actually do that. Let's do that now. Let's see if we get some bandages in this card draw. We've got a Paradox card. Got a Fracture card. That will add a new destination to the timeline ahead for no cost. That's pretty cool. We don't have to burn a temporal charge to add a new destination. And a Paradox card. So, unluckily, we do not have any bandages to heal ourselves. So our health is critical right now. But we do have some cards that can help us out. So right now, we need another destination option aside from Pompeii. And we have this time stream card that says, add a new destination to the timeline ahead for no cost. So we don't have to burn a temporal charge if we play this card. So I'm thinking that's our good move for it right now. So let's play this Fracture. And this will allow us to add a new destination at no cost. So what is it? Aha, it is the moon landing, July 1969. So let's put it here to the right of Pompeii. And let's take a look here. This will force us to drop 3 cards, time stream cards, and 4 temporal charges. That's pretty expensive to be able to travel to that moon landing. On the flip side, there is absolutely no risk. And we gain 1 time stream card and 1 temporal charge by traveling to this destination. So if we can just figure out a way to avoid this really high cost, this is actually a pretty good option to travel to. So let's take a look. What do we got here? Well, we have a Paradox card. In fact, we have 3 of them. And what does a Paradox card do? Travel to a destination for no time stream drop or temporal charge cost. This is really great, right? Because the cost of traveling to this moon landing space-time event is very high. But this Paradox card is going to allow us to sidestep all of that. So I'm thinking that's our next best move here. We will play a Paradox card. And that will allow our traveler to travel to the moon landing. Okay, don't ask me how the traveler is surviving in the vacuum of space. I'm going to assume that their handy-dandy time machine watch is giving them some sort of protective force field. So because we play that Paradox card, we do not have to drop 3 time stream cards, and more importantly, we do not have to give up 4 temporal charges to be able to go to the moon landing. There is 0 risk of damage here, so we don't have to give up any health, and we get +1 time stream card and +1 temporal charge. Well, that would have been really cool if we weren't already full up, but we do get 1 additional time stream card, which we'll grab now, and it turns out to be a Paradox card that allows us to travel to a destination for no time stream drop or temporal charge cost. So I'm feeling good about that. That was a good move. Now we still need a new destination aside from Pompeii. But now we don't have any of those handy-dandy cards that will allow us to add a new destination for free. That was a Fracture card. So it looks like we now have to do the whole temporal charge thing and give 1 up to be able to give us a new destination option, which turns out to be, another time fragment. This is good. So let's go ahead and see where that time fragment is trapped in space-time. Whoa! 2 time fragments are trapped in that location. So it's going to be super critical to travel to Independence Day, July 1776, because it is hiding not just 1 but 2 time fragments. And if we are able to successfully travel to this destination in space-time, we grab those 2 time fragments. Remember, we just need 4 to be able to travel back to our home time. So that is a really critical location. Now, what's it going to cost to get there? We have to drop 3 cards and give up 3 temporal charges to be able to travel to this destination. Well, let's see if we've got anything that can help us here. As it turns out, we have all these paradox cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 paradox cards. And as you recall, this will allow us to travel to a destination for no time stream drop or temporal charge cost. So this is really great news for us. So we play one of our paradox cards, and that allows our traveler to travel from the moon landing to Independence Day, July 1776. And what that does is, and we don't have to give up any cards or any temporal charge, which means successfully traveling there means we pick up these 2 time fragment cards. That is super great. So now we can place these 2 markers here, indicating that we now have 3 of the 4 necessary pieces of the time sphere. So we are looking pretty good. Now, let's resolve our risk here. It was a fairly low risk, 25%, and even if we don't make 25, if we roll 24 or lower, we will incur 1 damage. So that was a pretty low risk place to travel to. So let's resolve that right now. We want to roll 25 or better, and we get 28%. So it was a close call, but we avoid that 1 damage, and our bonus is we gain 1 time stream card. And that time stream card turns out to be a quantum flux. Reduce the risk of a destination by 10%. Okay, so that might come in handy in a little bit. All right, we still need to find that last piece of the time fragment, and we don't have any other location options aside from that unwanted Pompeii with its 90% risk of 4 damage. That would totally kill us because we've only got 3 health left. So, and our cards don't really give us any options for being able to reveal another location for free. So it looks like we're going to have to give up another temporal charge. We're down to 5 to reveal a next destination. It is American Revolution, April 1775. We've got to drop 2 cards to get there, give up 2 temporal charges. There's a 50% risk of taking 3 damage, and we will gain 2 time stream cards if we travel to this destination. So I say we do it because we still have all these paradox cards. So I'm going to give up this next paradox card. It's going to allow us to sidestep the time stream drop or temporal charge cost. So our traveler now travels from Independence Day 1776 to actually a little bit back in time to 1775, the American Revolution. And we did not have to pay that drop cost or that temporal charge cost. Let's resolve the risk. 50%. We have to roll 50 or higher to avoid the damage here in the American Revolution. And we rolled we rolled a 3. So we actually do incur 3 points of damage. Sadly, what that means is we only had 3 health points. So guess what? Our latest jump, we jumped to the American Revolution, and as soon as we appeared, we got hit by a musket shot. I don't know if they were actually using muskets, some type of projectile weapon, and then our time traveler fell over, keeled over, killed in time. And that was my quick playthrough of the game Sojourn, A Journey Through Time. Hope you enjoyed my quick playthrough this morning of the game Sojourn, a Journey Through Time, a solo 10 to 20 minute filler game by Wyvern Gaming. It is fast, it is frenetic, it is highly thematic, it is fun. The one knock against it that I have is that it's very reliant upon the dice rolling and the randomness, and there doesn't seem to be any mechanic to be able to mitigate that dice rolling randomness. However, you do have some nice choices and some nice time stream card benefits and effects to be able to lay out and choose your path so that you can you have kind of control over which destinations you're going to choose to go there. But once you've made your choice, that dice rolling can be pretty unforgiving. Till next time, this has been Martin. Thanks for watching.